WON, operating as W3OC, net control for the Tours Amateur Radio Club net. This radio net meets every Monday here at 8 p.m. on the 146.72 megahertz WA3P repeater of the Gateway FM Association. Membership in the Tours ARC is not required to check in the net, as all radio amateurs are welcome. If you'd like information about the Tours ARC, please write to us at P.O. Box 225, Greenville, PA, zip code 15047. We're also on the Internet's World Wide Web at www.trarc.net. www.trarc.net. Radio club meetings are held on the third Tuesday every month, except July, August, and December, starting at 7 p.m. Before having a set for check-ins, is emergency or priority traffic at this time. Let's see, does anyone have listings of silent keys in your radio amateurs who recently passed away? None heard? All right. Please, I'll be taking your check-ins here in a moment. Please, when you check into the net, keep your call sign slowly and phonetically. You can spell out your call sign. And see if you have any announcements or comments for the net. At this time, I'm looking for the officers of the Two Rivers ARC who wish to check into the Two Rivers net.
W3C. W3OC, please recognize Kilo Bravo 3 Sugar Tango, Bob and Elizabeth Township. Evening Chuck, evening to the net, no traffic.
W3OC. Please copy Kilo Bravo 3, Uniform Whiskey Charlie, Stephen Boston. Good evening, Chuck, and everyone else on the net. No other comments.
W3OC. W3OC, please recognize Whiskey India 3 Romeo, Roger, and White Oak. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to all on the net. No further traffic. W3OC, please recognize November 3 Juliet, Hotel, Bravo, Jim and McGeesport. Good evening to everyone on the net. No traffic. W3OC. W3OC, please copy Whiskey 3 Sierra Hotel, Foxtrot, Steve, and Pitcairn Heights. Good evening, Chuck, and everyone on the net.
Okay, thank you. I got Kilo Bravo 3 Sugar Tango, Kilo Bravo 3 Uniform Whiskey Charlie, Whiskey India 3 Radio, November 3 Juliet Hotel Bravo, and Whiskey 3 Sierra Hotel Foxtrot. Are there any other members of the Board of Directors wishing to check in? None heard. Alrighty, okay. Now looking for stations who are operating mobile, portable, or outside of Allegheny County.
W3OC, W3PBD on the portable in West Mifflin.
W3OC.
Everybody on the net, no further comments.
W3OC, here's Kilo Bravo 3 Victor Sierra Papa, Dan, Beaver County. Good evening.
W3OC. This is KA3 KEV Mobile. Denny and Plum, good evening.
W3OC.
Please copy Kilo Bravo 3 Hotel, Hancock County, West Virginia.
W3OC. W3OC, this is Whiskey America 3, Alpha Hotel Charlie. Antonio here in Pittsburgh. Good evening, Chuck, and those on net. I have no further comments.
W3OC. Whiskey Alpha 3 Bravo Oscar Juliet. Ted Portable Squirrel Hill. Good evening to you, Chuck. Good evening, net. No traffic. W3OC.
Whiskey Uniform 3 Uniform Portable, Cousin Elizabeth, no traffic. W3OC. Please copy Kilo Charlie 3, India Romeo Foxtrot, Bob in Overbrook. No traffic. W30C. Kilo Charlie 3, Romeo Alpha Alpha, Bill in Observatory Hill on a mobile. No traffic. W30C. Whiskey Victor 3, Tango Charlie. Tom from 84, mobile currently. No traffic to the net, just want to say 73. W3TC. W3OC. This is Kilo Bravo 3, Lima November Charlie. Let me hear in the mobile. No traffic. Net control. Net control, Kilo Alpha 3, Julia Kilo November, Ernie and Monessen, no traffic. W3OC. This is Kilo Bravo 3, uniform, Quebec, radio, Mark over here, Morgan's Township.
Okay, thank you all. I got a bunch that time. Thank you. This is Whiskey 3 Oscar Charlie for the 2 Rivers Net. Please copy Whiskey. I got Whiskey America 3 Papa Bravo Delta Portable, Kilo Bravo 3 Delta Victor Delta, Kilo Bravo 3 Victor Sierra Papa, Kilo Alpha 3 Kilo Echo Victor Mobile, Kilo Bravo 8 Oscar X-Ray Hotel, I think that's what I copied. Can't read my writing. Whiskey America 3 Alpha Hotel Charlie at Whiskey America 3 Bravo Oscar Japan Portable, Whiskey Uniform 3 Uniform Portable, Kilo Charlie 3 India Radio Fox, Kilo Charlie 3 Alpha Sugar November, Kilo Charlie 3 Radio Alpha Mobile, Whiskey Victor 3 Tango Charlie Mobile, Kilo Bravo 3 Lima November Charlie Mobile, Kilo Alpha 3 Juliet Kilo November, and Kilo Bravo 3 Uniform Quebec Radio. Anybody else mobile, portable, or outside of Allegheny County?
W3OC. Please copy Kilo Alpha 3, Foxtrot, Whiskey, Quebec, Jeff in Greensburg. Good evening, everyone. No traffic.
Hey, Kilo Alpha 3 Fox, Whiskey, Quebec. Okay, now we'll open up for general check-ins. And one of those hasn't checked in like it does, so call now.
W3OC. Please recognize Whiskey 3 Delta Tango Papa Del from Clarendon. Good evening, Chuck. You're on net. Stay warm. W3OC. This is November 3 Papa Senior from Chuck in the South Hills. Road Chuck and everyone on the net. W3OC. W3OC, please recognize Kilo Charlie 3, November Foxtrot, Mike and South Township. Good evening, Chuck and everyone on the net. No traffic. W3OC. Here is Kilo 3 Hotel India Romeo, Merle and Elizabeth Township. Good evening, Chuck. No comment. Net control, Kilo 3 Delta Papa, no comment. W3OC. This is Kilo Alpha 3 Kilo Sierra Papa, Jim and Carnegie. W3OC. Please copy Kilo Bravo 3 Kilo Bravo Hotel, very good Castle Shannon. Need to check, but other than that, I have no traffic. W3OC. Here is W3 Sierra Yankee Radio, Bob and White Oak. Good evening, Charlie. Good evening to all on the net. No traffic. W3OC. Please copy Alpha Golf 3 Uniform, Bob and Cheswick. W3OC. Please copy Kilo Alpha 3 Tango Foxtrot Bravo. KA3TF and a B. Bill in Warrendale, no traffic. Good evening to the net.
Okay, thank you. At that time, I go Whiskey 3 Delta Tango Papa, November 3 Papa Sierra Uniform, Kilo Charlie 3 November Fox, Kilo 3 Hotel on your radio, Kilo 3 Delta Papa Papa, Kilo Alpha 3 Kilo Sugar Papa, Kilo Bravo 3 Kilo Bravo Hotel, Whiskey 3 Sierra Yankee Radio, Alpha Golf 3 Uniform, and Kilo Alpha 3 Tango Fox Bravo. Anybody else?
November 3 Zulu Charlie Hotel. Ricky up there in Knoxville. W3OC. This is November 8th. Papa, Dave in Greenport, Ohio. W3OC. W3OC, please copy Kilo Bravo 3, Lima Juliet Yankee, Jet, Plumboro, no traffic. W3OC. Please copy November Uniform 3 Quebec and use 3Q. I have some brief announcements for the net when you have a minute.
Okay, let's see what I got that time. I got November 3 Zulu Charlie Hotel, November 8 Papa, Kilo Bravo 3 Lima Tango Yankee, and then use 3Q with comments. Okay, anybody else, please? None heard. Alrighty, thank you all. Got a lot in there tonight. Thank you all for taking the time to check this evening. And I guess the snow's starting to melt, which is a good thing, I guess. The temperature's going up. Okay, let's get through. I got some comments. I need 3Q. Please go ahead.
W3OCNU 3Q. Thank you, Chuck. Hope everybody's doing well there and keep warm, staying safe. I just want to make a quick announcement here on the net that this upcoming Saturday, which is, just get my calendar up here. You're stuck on stupid here. It'll be the 27th, this coming Saturday. We'll have a monthly Allegheny County ARES meeting on Zoom. I have sent the link out already. And I sent it to you, Chuck, as well, for the distribute to your folks on your end. So it'll be 10 a.m. after the weekly HF net on Aries. And I want to drop this one more of a personal announcement. It has come to my attention that we have a fellow ham out in Detroit. His name is Punk Phil. And his call sign is basically for me. I just got off dinner here, so my mind's a little stuck on stupid. But if you go to papaphilcan.com, that's his website. He's in need of a living kidney donor. That's papaphilcan.com. He's in need of a living donor. He needs a kidney replacement. He's getting close to dialysis, and he needs people to get their blood tested for compatibility. So that's my spiel here for tonight, gentlemen. Thank you. Good night, and 7 to 3 to all be standing by here, and use 3Q.
Okay, honors, Roger. Roger, Bob, any 3Qs, W3OC in control. Anybody need any repeats for anything that Bob announced? Okay, alrighty. Thank you all. Let's see, where's my sheet at? Alright, we'll get into the net. I do have a news line queued up on the computer review to play. I know I've kind of half listened to it a little bit. A lot of good information on there tonight. Okay, Two Rivers activities. The Two Rivers ARC has a hams and eggs breakfast that's held on the second Saturday of every month at Dice Cornerstone Diner. That's located at 620 Long Run Road in McKeesport, Pennsylvania. Starts at 9 o'clock. Get a chance to drop out to meet the gang. That's at the Dice Cornerstone Diner. It's actually located at the entrance to the Olympic Shopping Center for those who are familiar in the area. So we have a Wednesday night TRARC GapNet that meets at 8 p.m. on frequency 146.55 megahertz simplex. It's always a fun affair. There's always at least half a dozen people or more in there for that. Get a chance to drop by and participate. Usually there's a subject for one particular comment from the people that are checked in. Okay, also on April the 18th is the Two Rivers ARC 49th Annual Amateur Radio Hamfest and Computer Show. That's April the 18th, 2021 at the Palisades in McKeesport. Address is 105th Avenue, McKeesport, Pennsylvania, zip code 15132. We'll have directions on this repeater and mobile check-ins on 14652. A partial list of prizes has been listed on the flyer, which we got to get released to the public shortly. We included an ICOM 7300, an ICOM 2730, an ICOM 5100, a portable generator, an HP laptop computer, and a Nano Vector network analyzer. Those who wish to sign up for table reservations as an exhibitor should contact the Hamfest coordinator. You can reach him by email to this email address, atsfbill2@gmail.com. atsfbill2@gmail.com. You can try them by phone too, 412-260-5699. 412-260-5699. If you don't get a response, leave a message. Okay, that's kind of what I got on that. That's coming up on April the 18th. Okay, let's see what else. I think that's all we have for the Radio Club activities at the moment. We had our club meeting last Tuesday night. Okay. All right, looking at other activities on the calendar here that I have down here, as Bob just mentioned, this Saturday, the 27th, the Allegheny County ARES Zoom meeting starts, I think it's at 10 o'clock in the morning, I believe. Anybody wants to sign up for that, you should contact Bob by email to get the access for that. There is an access for it. Since it is a Zoom meeting, it's an internet Zoom meeting. Also, there's things scheduled. I found these on the internet. March 1st and March 7th. There's going to be a basic Skyward webinar at 6:30 p.m. Prerequisitions required. Again, contact Bob in your 3Q for that. Free Shooters Ground Wave Contest is on March the 6th. The next of three, the second of three, that will be starting at 7 p.m. and run to 11 p.m. on the 10-meter band. That's the voice contest, I should say. That's the amateur exam sessions. We had a bunch of them last weekend, I believe. So the next one on the list here that I have is March the 11th by the Beaver Valley ARA up in Ambridge, PA. Okay. Hamfest-wise, so we have March the 13th, Warren County Hamfest in Youngsville, PA. More information on that's on the ARL's website under Hamfest and exhibits. Of course, the Two Rivers ARC Hamfest is on April the 18th at the McKeesport Palisades. Okay, that's kind of what I got on the calendar here. Last weekend, of course, we had the ARL International DX Contest, CW, on the HF band. That was quite active from what I understand. Okay, with that, does anybody have need any repeats or anything I've heard? W3OC. Okay, alrighty. Let me flip some switches. Let's see what Newsline's got tonight. I know they got something on there about Mars something, some kind of a satellite or something. Let's see what it's all about. W3OC.
Indiana, here's Paul Brown, WD9GCO. Our top story this week brings us back once again to COVID-19 and its impact on amateur radio. The news here, however, is good. Very, very good. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, explains.
The challenge of a deadly pandemic has stirred unprecedented interest in amateur radio in the UK. As the COVID-19 crisis kept most of the country immobilized, last year the Radio Society of Great Britain rolled out remote invigilation of license exams. Now, some of the free popular distance learning programs are reporting a surge in applicants for foundation license and upgrade exam training. Approaching its 17th of February application deadline, the Bath-based distance learning team told Newsline its new full license course has had an overwhelming response. Team leader Steve Hartley, G0FUW, said in an email that with 100 spaces available, the class is already oversubscribed, as organisers sought through some 250 inquiries. This exceeds the previous annual registration for the course, one of several offered by the Bath District Amateur Radio Club. Steve continued that some registrants for the full license class are those who had trained in its intermediate class. In another email, RSGP President Dave Wilson, M0OBW, praised those providing online training, saying the Society website offers a list of these groups. RSGP Communications Manager Heather Parsons added that having more time to devote to radio now was only one reason amongst many given for the upsurge in interest. In Nottingham, the South Notts Amateur Radio Club said enrollment for its foundation, intermediate and full license online training classes have likewise attracted high levels of applicants. Club Secretary Simon Strange, M0SYS, told Newsline that he now has to lead training 3 nights a week to meet the intense demand. He said the classes include men, women and children. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
To see a full list of organizations offering online training in the UK, see the printed script of this newscast on our website, arnewsline.org. We also note that the RSGB has announced a consultation seeking views of the new direct full license exam to run parallel to the 3-tier system in place. The Society's Examination Standards Committee is keeping the consultation period open until the 14th of March. A link to the proposed syllabus is also on our arnewsline.org website. If you'd like to go to a Hamfest, really go to a Hamfest, you'll get your chance this August at the Von Braun Center. Don Wilbanks, AE5DW, has the details.
Finally, some good news about ham radio conventions. On Tuesday, February 16th, it was announced that plans are going forward for the Huntsville Hamfest in Alabama. Mark Brown, N4BCD, Huntsville Hamfest chairman, made the following statement on the convention website, hamfest.org. The Hamfest board has met with the Von Braun Center to learn about the current rules and regulations for mass gatherings. In short, the insurmountable obstacles that prevented us from hosting a Hamfest last year have relaxed to the point where we can host a safe and successful event. Additionally, our survey of commercial and flea market vendors on their plans to attend returned very encouraging sentiments. Adjustments to the floor plan are being made to keep everyone safe, in particular 12-foot aisle spacing. Additional space will be utilized this year to accommodate the commercial and flea market vendors and visitors. Once that floor plan is defined in a few weeks, we'll open the web portal up for vendor registration. We highly recommend visitors to purchase tickets online this year. Will call windows will be set up to streamline the Saturday morning crush. The ticket web portal will open in a few weeks. The Hamfest board is excited at the prospect of holding a live gathering in a safe way for everyone attending, and we look forward to seeing many of our friends again. Thanks in 7-3, Mark N4BCD, Huntsville Hamfest Chairman. The Huntsville Hamfest is a world-class ham radio gathering and, since 1993, the home of the Newsline Young Ham of the Year presentation. Mark your calendars for this one, and we'll see you there August 21st and 22nd. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW.
A lot of celebrating took place around the world and on the air during the weekend of February 13th and 14th. It was the 10th anniversary of UNESCO's World Radio Day, recognizing radio as the single most consumed medium with an ability to reach the world's largest and most diverse audiences. Amateur radio was, of course, a big part of the global activities. In Spain, call signs were activated with the suffix WRD from the 12th through the 14th of the month. Hams throughout India had a variety of activities on tap. In the southern Indian state of Kerala, the Institute of Amateur Radio had hams on the radio reminding people of the rescue and disaster assistance that hams provide during floods, cyclones, and other events. A radio festival displayed antique and unusual equipment from handhelds to rare transmitters. Hams also got busy preparing for a 2-day field day in India on the 27th and 28th of February, where emergency communications will be given a test run. The website, weather.com, even got into the act by posting an article reminding people of Ham's unique ability to assist in emergencies even when commercial power has been cut off. One celebration began over the weekend and will continue for at least a while longer. Be listening for the call sign 4U13FEB until the 28th of February. Members of the UN Global Service Center ARC in Brindisi, Italy, are calling QRZ until then to promote World Radio Day. Meanwhile, get ready for the next big event specifically for Ham's. Sunday, April 18th is World Amateur Radio Day. If you've ever been off the air for a year or so, you know that your first contact has got to be a good one, especially if it's a serious DX like the one we hear next about from Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
The completion of a complicated upgrade of an aging antenna of the Deep Space Network in Canberra, Australia, has restored full contact between Earth and the Voyager 2 probe. The trailblazing spacecraft, which was launched 44 years ago by NASA, had been crossing the heavens in relative silence after a 70-metre dish there known as DSS-43 was shut down and dismantled for a needed refreshing. In space, as on Earth, however, few things are immune to the impact of the global pandemic. The ordinarily large team of experts NASA would have sent to Canberra for the makeover was limited to 4 for safety reasons, and the reduced size of the team delayed the upgrade's progress. With DSS-43 being the only antenna capable of communicating with Voyager 2, the probe had few options for communicating. It could only transmit to the smaller dishes in Canberra, but was unable to receive any commands, especially those that could have fixed problems if any had been detected on board. After a test message was sent last October when DSS-43 was partially reassembled, NASA and other experts were optimistic. Now, with DSS-43 back in business, the long silence is over. But two-way contact still requires something of a wait. Round-trip communication between Earth and the faraway Voyager 2 takes 35 hours. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Graham Kemp in Canberra, VK4BB, Port 2.
A ham known for years of powerful operations at lighthouses throughout the UK has become a silent key. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, tells us about him.
Handel Bluer, G3UUZ, who was also known as Andy, is perhaps best recalled by hams throughout the UK for the remarkable long-wire antennas he would string from the top of whatever lighthouse he happened to be activating. That included those times he operated from Bishop Rock between 1976 and 1980, where he worked pile-up after pile-up, according to his son Redders, M5ACT. Redders told Newsline he remembered his father saying that he was able to work stations in America from there, long before anyone else in the UK was able to do so. Andy became a silent key this month at the age of 92. He had achieved recognition in the Shortwave magazine of July 1971 for his noted abilities in top-band operation from such lighthouses as Nash Point in South Wales, and his fondness for lighthouse operations earned him a profile in the March 2000 issue of Practical Wireless magazine, where the authors of the article said they were pleased to be sharing his insights into, quote, finding a happy medium between being a lighthouse keeper and a radio amateur, end quote. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the K7ECI repeater in the Elmore County Amateur Radio Club in Mountain Home, Idaho, on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. local time.
That'd be a 306.
Who doesn't want to get outdoors? Young hams in IARU Region 1 are making plans to do just that and holding an online forum. As we hear from Ed Durant, DD5LP.
Summits on the islands on the worldwide flora and fauna and other radio-friendly outdoor activities will be the focus of discussion among young amateurs during the next YOTA online session this month. It's been held by the Youth Working Group of the IARU Region 1. The program will begin at 1900 UTC on Thursday the 25th of February. This episode is called Gone Exploring and shares different ways to enjoy outdoor activations. The Youth Working Group Chair, Philip Springer, DK6SP, right from the hamyota.com website that, as with previous episodes in the series, there will be a question and answer period afterwards. Yota Online is a monthly presentation by Region 1's youngest amateurs. The events are live streamed on YouTube, Twitch and Facebook, and the organisers are also hoping to stream the proceedings via the QO100 geostationary satellite in digital ATV mode. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Ed Durant, DD5LP. Recent weather extremes through much of the United States put ham's preparedness to the test, as we hear from Randy Sly, W4XJ. Sleet, winter storms, and other severe weather systems, plus power and telecommunications outages, challenged hams across the nation, even as temperatures fell to record lows in parts of the U.S. South. Arctic conditions prevailed through much of the central region of the country as well. The ARRL's Emergency Response Director, Paul Gilbert, KE5ZW, reported on the league website that an Aries net was set up in Texas to track rolling blackouts taking place as the power grid there became overwhelmed by customer demand. The net also handled health and welfare needs and vehicle accident reports. Hams responded to similar conditions as well in Alabama, where the Section Emergency Coordinator, David Gillespie, W4LHQ, also reported on the league website that the region was dealing with power outages and temperatures below freezing. Although not every region activated an Aries group, hams were standing by just in case, as the threat of a return of severe weather hung over many regions. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Randy Sly, W4XJ. In Australia, one radio group has directed its problem-solving towards hams unable to fulfill the regulator's requirement for a permanent address. Here's Robert Broomhead, VK3DN, with more.
The ACMA's requirements that hams in Australia provide a public postal address to be certified and licensed left some amateurs with a dilemma. They don't have a fixed address at the moment because they've been travelling, or perhaps they're in a vulnerable segment of the population. Leave it to amateur radio ingenuity and problem solving to resolve this issue. The Pride Radio Group, created last year as a welcoming organisation for amateur radio operators in the LGBTQ community, has arranged a free mail redirection service for its members in Australia. It provides a post office box address that can be publicly listed as a separate from the address of the ham's QTH. The radio group's founder, Michaela Wheeler, VK3FUR VK4XSS, said Pride is providing the mail redirection service free to its members with the help of provider Hotsnail. Michaela said members receive an address to use on their registration paperwork, and if mail arrives at that address, Hotsnail scans it and forwards it to the address the ham has provided. While this service cannot be used for QSL cards, Michaela said it does solve the address problem for the ACMA's required paperwork. Michaela said that because Pride Radio Group operates as a virtual entity, using Hotsnail made the most sense because the service can be managed remotely. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Robert Broomhead, VK3DN.
Researchers in Moscow have developed a terahertz detector with unprecedented sensitivity, and it shows promise in several areas of science. Jack Parker, W8ISH, has the details.
A development from researchers in Moscow has presented what researchers consider good prospects for radio astronomy, wireless communications, medical diagnostics, and security systems. It involves the use of something called quantum mechanical tunneling in graphene. The scientists have used it to create a highly sensitive terahertz detector. This solves the problem of inefficiency when mobile systems make use of extremely high frequencies beyond the traditional ones used today. Most transistors in use today in typical wireless receivers aren't fast enough to recharge at those frequencies. Wi-Fi receivers typically use signals at about 5 gigahertz, and 5G mobile can transmit as high as 20 gigahertz, but going much higher usually poses a challenge. What researchers in Moscow and the University of Manchester have created is a device much more sensitive to those in commercial use now, which are based on semiconductors and superconductors. In this new development, the application of even very low voltage to control contact or gate in a tunneling transistor aligns energy levels of the source and channel, permitting current to flow. On the website phys.org, one of Moscow researchers, Dennis Baldwin, writes, quote, "The current characteristics give rise to hopes for the creation of fast and sensitive detectors for wireless communications." End quote. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jack Parker, W8ISH. We conclude this week's report by asking, can your call sign go the distance? For one Pennsylvania Amateur Radio Club, the answer is a resounding yes. Ralph Squillaci, KK6ITB, tells us why.
This could be the world's tiniest QSL card for the world's rarest DX thus far. The Perseverance rover, arriving on Mars to look for signs of past microbial life and collect climate and geographic data, will be carrying the name of the Holmesburg Amateur Radio Club with it. The Pennsylvania Club's name and call sign, WM3PEN, is one of almost 11 million names on board, stenciled into one of 3 tiny silicon chips by an electron beam as part of NASA's Send Your Name to Mars campaign. The club is perhaps best well known for running the annual 13 Colonies special event that takes place around America's Independence Day celebrations each year. Sure, the club had more than enough company on its journey when the launch took off at Kennedy Space Center in Florida last summer, but how many of them are space travel veterans like the Holmesburg Hams? Club trustee Bob Joswite, WA3PZO, told Newsline that this is the second trek to Mars for the club's call sign. The first journey was in 2011 on board the rover named Curiosity, where the club's call sign joined some 1.2 million names. Bob told Newsline the club decided it was worth going along for the ride again. Talk about perseverance. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Ralph Squillaci, KK6ITB.
With thanks to Amateur News Weekly, the ARRL, Bob Joswite, WA3PZO, CQ Magazine, David Behar, K7DB, EOS, Hamsai, Indian Express, Michaela Wheeler, VK3FUR, NASA, New York Times, Ohio Penn DX Newsletter, Phys.org, QRZ.com, Practical Wireless, Radio Society of Great Britain, Redders Bluer, M5ACT, Shortwave Magazine, Simon Strange, M0SYF, Southgate Amateur Radio News, ShortwaveRadio.de, Southgate, Steve Hartley, G0FUW, Ted Randall's QSO Radio Show, the Wireless Institute of Australia, WTWW Shortwave, Yoda, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. Please send emails to our address at newsline@arnewsline.org. More information is available at Amateur Radio Newsline's only official website at arnewsline.org. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, Katie to GUT at the News Desk in New York, and our news teams worldwide, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO, in Valparaiso, Indiana, saying 73. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2021. All rights reserved.
Good evening, 8:38 p.m.
Hey, this is W3OC Next Control of the Two Rivers Net. That concludes this week's Newsline transmission. Okay, I have no more announcements or comments, so at this time we'll take some late check-ins. Anyone else like to check in hasn't done so, call up. Okay, none heard. Alrighty. I got 36 on the check-in list. Thank you all for checking in this evening or listening on all except me. And everybody have a good week and try to be well and safe, that's for sure. And I hope we'll catch many of you next week. And those are members of the Bree Shooters or wish to become a member. Bree Shooters, that starts at 9 p.m. on the 10-meter band on frequency 28.480 here in about 20 minutes. With that, we're trying to repeat it back to General Amateur. So everybody have a good week. This is W3OC, also on this W3ON. Good night.
Alright guys, well that's gonna be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on the post notification bell so you know every time I post a new video just like this one. Subscribe to my other channels. And this is 73rd from Whiskey America 3, Alpha Hotel Charlie. Peace.